What's going on, everybody? Shadowsabound here. We're going to be doing our very first reaction video. We are watching Nuke's Top 5. The name of the video is Top 5 Scary Ghost Videos That'll Make You Cry for Daddy.
Make you cry for daddy.
Strange name, but we're going to go ahead and react to it and see if we get spooked out or just see what this video is about in general. So let's have some fun.
Fun.
Fun! Alright, you ready?
Here we go.
Alright, let's see what he's got.
The Witching Board. Popular paranormal live streamer Ricky Velasquez and his wife Liz traveled to an allegedly haunted house somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in Mexico. Now apparently the story of this place is truly dark and disturbing, because Ricky will only mention that the house was once home to an extremely large family named Hernandez.
That's like 35 people in that family.
I mean, in that picture, there's at least 45.
Why are they all blurred out, though?
They're probably still living and don't want to be mentioned.
You can't have that many people living if you have a haunted house, though. Half of them gotta at least be gone.
To be safe,
I don't know.
You want someone coming.
And is that his family, or is that the haunted house family?
Whose family?
I don't know. Let's keep going.
Apparently some tragic...
Hold on. The paranormal person that he's talking about is Vasquez. And Vasquez went to this property. The property was owned by the Hernandezes. Hernandezes
gotcha.
are in that photo.
Gotcha, that's what I meant.
That's the breakdown.
So they've got at least half be dead, then.
That's the breakdown.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they gotta at least be dead. Alright, ready?
Family members don't want to mention them.
Let's see who's dead.
Let's find out.
Alright.
An unspeakable event occurred at the Hernandez home, and most of the family, including many women and children, lost their lives. Now, whatever did happen, apparently it was so horrific that many people still leave candles at the house to pay their respects to this day. So after exploring the downstairs, Ricky and Liz head up to the second floor, and that's when they begin to experience something that makes their blood run cold. Ricky is broadcasting their exploration live on YouTube, and as he reads comments from his live stream audience, this happens.
¿Fuiste tú? No. Bebé, háblale tú. No sé.
Hola.
He said you talk to it. That almost sounds like wind, doesn't it?
Yeah, through like a brick window pane.
Yeah, that almost sounds like wind. And that bang in the beginning, I don't know that.
I thought I saw something in the beginning when he panned and was watching it slowly in the right and got scared and went panned over to the room where his wife was.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. He was like, "You talk to it."
Yeah, it's not me. I'm talking to it first.
¿Fuiste tú?
The couple hears very strange sounds from somewhere on the top floor. Banging, moaning, and even what sounds like the voice of a young child.
No, mira,
I heard that.
So now, in an attempt to make contact with the dead, Ricky and Liz decide to use a Ouija board.
Stupid.
And as you might have guessed, it didn't.
Right off the bat.
Can already tell you that's gonna go wrong. That's a dumb decision.
I mean, you can never properly open them or close them, so
If
you're opening up a big ass door.
If you instantly hear children's spirits, don't bring out a Ouija board. I mean, don't bring out a Ouija board
Regardless,
in general, but yeah.
Definitely children.
Yeah. How
9
bad?
times out of 10 it's never an actual child.
How bad do you think it's gonna get?
They're at a 2, so maybe jump to a 4 or 5 in 30 seconds. 30 seconds after they move the planchette, which is the thing that goes over the letter.
I'm gonna have a random guess and say something gets thrown.
Thrown or loud noise?
Like something gets, yeah, like a bang or something gets thrown.
Yeah.
That's my random guess. It's probably not gonna happen, but it's a random guess.
Not go well. During the Ouija board session, the couple continues to hear disturbing sounds coming from the house. Then something happens that absolutely scares the shit out of them.
¿Estás aquí con nosotros?
Liz, muévete de aquí. Muévete.
Now, was that her screaming or the supposed spirit behind the clothesline?
Supposed to be that thing behind the clothes hanger.
That almost sounded like her, like, ah!
Yeah, like her off camera.
Did that look fake to you?
A little bit. Because, I mean, the noise before they saw that was the last time I got a goosebump. I didn't get a goosebump seeing that. That tells me it's fake.
The only goosebump I've gotten so far watching this portion is the yes, the really long yes. I mean, especially if it's Spanish, you know, it's C, but I don't know, I got a weird vibe from that.
While using the Ouija board, Liz asks, "Are you here with us?" To which a terrifying little voice replies, "Yes."
Yeah, that.
Ricky believes that he hears the voice coming from right behind him.
Yeah.
So he looks through a clothing rack that is nearby and sees the horrifying, deathly pale face of a woman. The couple has had enough and they just run out of there as fast as they can. Now, keep in mind that all of this was broadcast live on YouTube. So whether it's real or not, it would have been much harder to fake. But whether it is real or fake, the footage is definitely very creepy. But if you want to take a look at the video for yourself, you can watch this entire exploration over on the YouTube channel, Ricky Velasquez. Get me out.
What do you rate that? Out of a
From a scale of 1 to 5?
No, like 1 to 10.
Oh. 1.5.
A 1.5?
1.5. Because I got exactly one goosebump.
I say if it was a real experience, I'm gonna give it. If it's a real experience, I'm gonna give it a 4. 4 out of 10. Because I know that was not a real spirit behind the clothesline.
Yeah, no.
So
if it was real, it would only make me give it a 2.5.
It looked. Well, no. If that was a real spirit, that was that perfectly shown in real life, and on camera and all that, that would be more than a 2. Because you don't ever get that kind of footage. Like directly like that.
That's not enough. He didn't go up to it. You know what I mean? Like went close to zoom in on its face and backed all the way up when they started running.
Well, if it's real, he probably shit his pants. If it's fake, then he knew was like, all right, let me turn.
Like, what would make me give it a 4 or 5 would be.
No, out of 10 now.
That person holding the camera, I assume, is Ricky himself. So as you're holding the camera, being Ricky, you reach out and grab the shoulder of whoever that was. Then I'd be like, sure, here's a 4, here's a 5.
I'm surprised they didn't throw nothing at the person behind the clothesline.
And what makes you question is like that subtle change of perspective. The corner and behind where the clothes was hanging gets deeper all of a sudden.
I don't know.
I feel supposedly that was live streamed.
I feel like it was a fake mask. Like something you find out of the ring.
I want to say it was just like a person making the hair look a little raggedy, wearing like gray makeup
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that was real.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was real. All right, let's go to the next one.
I mean, you could still set stuff up and set it up for a live stream, so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Out of here. A group of friends are having a great time in Torreon, Mexico when they decide to go on a very popular tourist attraction, the Cristo de la Noa's cable car ride. The cable car provides beautiful scenery of the city as it transports tourists up the mountain and through the streets of Torreon. With such a spectacular bird's eye view of the city, the group of friends can't help but take a video to capture the moment. But what happens on this particular ride is very disturbing.
Mándenle saludos a Robert que está allá para acá.
¿Estás transmitiendo?
Está transmitiendo. que se siente sola. ¿Sí oyeron? Una niña que se siente sola. No, una niña no.
What sounds like the voice of a little girl can be heard screaming in terror, and the group has no idea where the voice is coming from. Now, after the video was shared on Facebook, many shocked viewers believe they...
Where was the supposed voice coming from? Inside the trail car?
A voice... See, that's where I don't
I'm
understand.
confused.
Because a voice like that, if it comes from inside the apartment building or whatever they were looking at, and you have the walls inside the cart that you're in, you'd have to be screaming pretty loud for you to be able to
pick
get
up through it.
Yeah, for it to be sounding that crystal clear.
Or I want to say they were trying to say it's coming from inside the cart that they're in, which in case that happened,
I think they were looking
some echo.
It looked like they were looking at the apartments, like trying to find her, if that was what was going on. I don't know. Let's see what they say.
You hear the girl say, quote, "Get me out of here. I feel alone." But unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish. So if you do, please let me know what you think the girl is saying down in the comments. Did the group accidentally capture a paranormal event on camera? You decide. 7 days.
So it doesn't. It would be hard to have
I'm
a certain
confused.
direction. Yeah.
They didn't really say it was in the cart. If it was in the cart, you'd have a lot of echo. They didn't say it was coming from some passerby outside apartment.
Yeah.
In which case, it'd sound not as loud as it did. Because it's going through plexiglass material.
That one's a hard one to explain because you'd have to have a certain direction of where it was coming from. And if you're going down a cart and you hear that scream, it would be coming from like, oh, it's left. It's that window right there. But as they were going down, the sound was the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which makes you think so that one person has a phone inside the cart. What if it was another person near them playing that noise on the phone?
There's not a lot of evidence with that. And where'd they say it was at?
Somewhere in Mexico.
Mexico. Okay. So was it La Rocha or whatever the name is, the Weeping Woman?
Oh, La Llorona?
La Llorona? Sorry. I don't know why I was saying that. Okay.
You're fine.
But,
La Llorona is this entity that steals your child.
So, I mean, it could be something like that being mimicked or whatever. If it were to be that would be my only guess. But I give that a 0.5 out of 10.
I'm in the negatives with that one. So, it's like, how do we know someone next to them had a phone and was playing that sound of a child on the phone?
That could easily...
More than one person. If there's 6 people in a crowd, more than at least 2 people have a phone on them.
Yeah, that could have easily been like, hey, you play this while I go and record this, and yeah. All right, hopefully this next one is better than...
Well, this one's 7 days, and already that makes me think of the movie The Ring. You get the phone call and they tell you you have 7 days. So here we go.
You got 7 days, get your affairs in order. All right.
Popular Japanese paranormal investigators Tomo and Hiro from the YouTube channel Onigatoki Film.
You were telling me about this guy earlier. Okay, so I don't really know much about this guy. Chris does. He's watched his videos and stuff, so he knows a little bit more about him than I do. So this is my first time watching anything of his. So let's see how it goes.
Are contacted by a desperate landlord of an allegedly haunted apartment. The landlord claims that just over 10 years ago, a family of 3 rented the apartment. One night, the father had an unexplained psychotic break and took the lives of his wife and child inside the apartment. Their bodies were found hidden in the closet.
Pause. So that's already part of the story from Ju-on, which is the original Japanese version of The Grudge.
Wasn't it a boy, though, not a girl?
It was a girl that was going to college at girl age that was a maid of this wife. The wife was married to the guy. The guy cheats on the wife with the girl going to college. But the first person that gets affected or killed is this 9-year-old boy. And then the wife.
Gotcha, yeah.
And then the college-age girl, and then himself.
So, I've never seen The Grudge or Ju-on. I know about the movies, but I've never seen it. I'm terrible at not watching movies. The only the only experience I have is watching was a Scary Movie 3, where they made fun of Juwan, and they were speaking Japanese or whatever, and they were just saying names of companies.
Yep.
Nissan,
Yep.
Mitsubishi.
And then they were making fun of the gurgle noise the boy makes. So the boy from the movie, he's known for this weird gurgle noise.
Yeah.
And they were making fun of that too.
That's crazy.
But already that's half the story.
I was thinking The Grudge popped up on my head when you saw like the Japanese style home and everything. But that's, as a dad, I don't see how anybody could have that much evil mentality. You know, to take the lives of your family.
I guess it would depend on where your line is for stress or what happened at work and family stuff and.
You would have to have a pretty bad day at work to come
So you have to have a lot of
like
stress, and then a lot of things happen with no sleep. So maybe the guy wasn't sleeping.
Either that or he was demonically possessed.
That too. That usually helps.
I'm gonna go with that, because even as stressed as I can be, I don't ever see.
The guy that killed the family related to the Amityville horror had a psychotic break.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's see if this is The Grudge or not.
The father went on the run, and he was never found. Since the horrific incident, the owner finds it impossible to get tenants to stay in the apartment for more than a week. He says that within 7 days, all of them abruptly decide to just move out. So the landlord challenges the Omagatoki team to live in the apartment for 1 week to figure out just what it is about the property.
I don't mean to keep pausing. So is that something they normally do?
Yeah.
They stay in place for 7 days? Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like that 72-hour rule.
Sorry. 72-hour rule? Okay, cool.
Tenants to refuse to stay. Investigator Tomo accepts the challenge and decides to live in the apartment alone for 7 days. A static camera records Tomo as he sleeps and spends time in the bedroom, where the tragedy took place 10 years earlier.
チャレンジ1日目、さっきまでね、ヒロ君と一緒にいたんで、そんなに感じなかったんですけど、やっぱりね、一人ぼっちになっちゃうと嫌な空気はありますよね。周り何もないんで。
Why does this grown man have a teddy bear?
So it's something they do. Like it's a thing in Japan. Like some guys are obsessed with like laying on a girl's lap and the girl has to be cleaning their ears with a cuticle. It's stuff like that.
All right. Let's just keep it going.
本当に奥の方な物件なんでね、本当何かあったら本当どうしようみたいな
That closet
感じは
door
あるん
feels
ですけ
weird.
ど、
Like, I was picturing it sliding back.
Maybe
So
that's
that's the
the
function of those doors.
By
何も
itself.
なく無事に過ごせればいいかなと思うんですけどね。いやどうしよう。特にやることもなくてちょっと眠くなってきたんで、もう初日はこんな感じで見ようと思います。
Tomo spends the first 2 nights and nothing really happens. But on the 3rd night, at around midnight, Tomo notices something very odd in the bathroom.
いやなんかさっき見て、あれなんか人影に見えないっすね。それでさっきめちゃくちゃビビって外確認しに行ったんですよ。で確認何もないんですよね。
And it moved. It just moved too.
Extra sound effect right there. The ta 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 ta. That, I don't know about that. Because what if it could be creating a shadow cast from something across the street?
So how dark it is and the shading on the outside of it means that technically whoever's filming the camera, it would have to have a light source above the camera, and it would have to be a cutout or some kind of type of paper behind the light source to make that shape. And if you notice right before you paused it, it moved right to left, like a human would its head if it was looking at something.
いるように見えないっすか。おかしいよ。
That's good, a little bit.
なんだろう。
A strange shadow can be seen in the window, but Tomo can't find anything outside that could be casting the unexplained shadow. Then the next night,
See how
night
rich
number
it
4, and things get a bit weirder.
トイレに行こうと思って気づいたんですけど、昨日フロアのすりガラスのところになんか影みたいなのあったじゃないですか。で、ないっすよね。なんか昨日のと影みたいなの映ってるような気がするんだけどな。おかしいよ。なんだったんだろう。
The shadow from the night before has now disappeared as mysteriously as it came. But when Tomo goes to bed, he's disturbed several times while trying to sleep, as he keeps getting the eerie feeling that someone is in the room with him, standing near the closet. Cut to nights 5 and 6, and now Tomo starts to complain that he hasn't been able to sleep, as he keeps hearing unexplained footsteps, and even more terror.
I'm sorry, when he was doing that number, I was just picturing him like, ah.
Trying to get the right note in.
Oh, man.
He's on the voice, so he's like,
the ghost or whatever singing to him in the house. So he's just singing along with him, harmony.
back, streets back, all right.
And he's like, da, 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 da.
Terrifying, the unexplained mumbling voice of a woman. Now it's day 7. Tomo is exhausted and considers quitting the 7-day challenge and just going home, even though there's only 1 day left. Eventually, he decides that he can tough it out and stays for the 7th and final night. The investigator wakes up the next day refreshed and happy. He says he finally got a great night's sleep in the apartment.
お疲れ様です。今急遽トモさんに来てもらいました。トモさん昨日の夜の出来事なんですけど、最終日、本当に何も覚えてないんですか？特に夢だとかうなされたとかっていうこともないですか？
いや、なんかね、一番ぐっすり寝るとかな。朝まで多分ずっと寝てたと思う。
本当に何も変わったことは何もなかったんですね。
そうだね、全然何も、なんか怖い夢も見てないし、何もなかったと思って。
わかりました。
And this is when things get weird. While Tomo is at work, Hiro goes through the footage that was recorded on the final night of the challenge. What he finds leaves him speak.
So is he the editor?
He's kind of like the guy that sometimes works the camera, and sometimes they do challenges together, where they switch off.
Oh, okay, so like it's not always him.
It's not always just one guy.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Speechless, because something did happen that night. Something that Tomo has no recollection of. Something truly chilling.
I told you something with that closet.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Something's wrong with his eyes, like he wants to go to sleep. Something's keeping him open.
A dial tone for a camera?
Yeah, it sure is. No, it's audio interference, but the beginning of it was dial tone. Something's forming That's literally originally his shadow of his head casted on the wall when he moves left to right.
So what do you think that's like a demonic possession, or do you think that is something, because it's got to be something controlling him if that's real?
I want to say it's solely in the footage itself and not physically happening to him, because I have no goosebumps.
That face he gave me goosebumps, with the eyes this freaking wide.
Yes, and then the smirk he gave.
Because that right there, that shows manipulation.
He went from a sleepy face to a smirk.
The eyes wide open, smirking like that. That's usually some manipulation stuff.
But this right here, that's one finger phasing through 1, 2, 3 paused panels.
Well, that's
of
skipped.
The footage trying to unpause or unskip.
So that's skipped. So
it's one finger.
I don't know what that is.
But it's happening in the footage, not to the footage, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's already there.
In the video, Tomo seems completely out of it as he grabs the camera and sits in front of a closet. The video footage begins to glitch.
Like, that's a creepy freaking face.
So, before they cut to this part where he's going over the footage, remember the other camera guy asking him about, oh, hey, positive you're sure you didn't have a nightmare or anything didn't happen?
Yeah.
I feel like it's placed, set up.
You think it's
just
fake?
By how he asked the question and repeated the question 3 different times. And he doesn't remember.
Now, I will say, having the experience of something taking over me and controlling me for a little while, I remember some of it, but I don't remember all of it. So that could be truth behind that. If something took him over, and even if it was for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever, he could not have remembered it. So that could be some of the truth. And seeing that face right there, like that, you, even joking, it's hard to just fake something. Like, I don't know. Something tells me that's not fake, but I don't watch too much of this guy, so I don't know.
Him himself, this isn't fake. But
Wait, do they generally do stuff like this on their channel?
No.
No? Okay.
But the thing they're trying to say that comes out of his shadow tells me it's fake. What else is telling me that's fake is how that other gentleman with the camera asked him the question. Are you sure you didn't have a nightmare last night? You sure nothing happened? You sure you didn't have a nightmare? Are you positive?
I mean...
And then...
That could have been...
He uses that for the excuse for his partner to go through the footage. And this is supposedly found.
I mean, that could be true. That could be something set up. But at the same time, it's like... If you and I were in this situation, and I went to go edit something, and I gave you a camera during an investigation, and you were going through something like this, and you came back and you were like, oh, I had nothing. Nothing happened.
I would make sure that I didn't just have one static camera. I would have like one, at least pointing 3 different ways.
We ain't got that many cameras.
Or one camera that is 360. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just
like
saying.
At that point, I would chip in and start buying some for stuff like that.
Well, I'm saying as an example.
See every angle to know where I was there. I didn't go up anywhere and plant anything. If one camera malfunctions, you now have a backup for the backup.
Yeah, no, I get how you would do it. I'm saying as an example, if we were in those 2 people's shoes, and I handed you a camera, you went off on your merry way, came back and said, nothing really happened, and you go, here you go, you can go through the footage. And I went through it and said, hold up, wait a minute, something just ain't right. And then I showed you the footage.
See, but that's a hard phenomenon, right? So, like, if you research phenomenon, you're already going to know that in those situations, someone loses their memory, someone cannot remember, someone has a loss of time.
Which could be...
They don't remember sleepwalking.
That could be true.
Technically, during a sleepwalk, you think you're dreaming anyway, and what happens to most people, they don't remember their dreams the next time they wake up.
Now, the only thing I have to say is most people don't get out of bed and have the blanket like this and then just instantly shove it down and very coordinated. Like when I get out of bed, I'm ready to fall out of bed.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that shows me that it could be a little fake. Like maybe he wasn't really asleep and he just was ready to go. I don't know.
Planning the position of his body, I get you.
Basically, yeah. So, but this dude's got a creepy face. You ready?
Just Tomo creepily smiles at the camera and then inexplicably seems to just start crying. The footage begins to glitch and loop, repeating over and over as the terrifying face of a woman seems to peer out at the camera.
I mean, you can see the hair a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, that looks like a kid's face, though. I wouldn't say it's a woman's. I would say it's like a little girl's.
Hold on.
Camera.
That's as formed as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also him crying and losing emotions, that could be him not being controlled, too.
Yeah.
Or he could be getting controlled and
Well, before in a possession, there's oppression. So things have to happen on the outside surface before they come on the inside surface.
Yeah, could be. And investigators can always leave a window open when they don't want to. So.
From inside the closet. Tomo says he doesn't remember anything about the incident, and until seeing the bizarre footage, he believed that he had slept soundly throughout the night.
Just got out of bed?
Yeah.
So could it be that the investigator captured the spirit of the woman whose life was taken inside the bedroom? The woman whose body was found inside this same closet? Let me know what you think. You can watch this entire two-part investigation and many more scary videos over on the YouTube channel, Omega Toki Film. Into the Woods. So it's another week and
Alright, so what do you give that one out of 1 to 10?
I give that one like a 3. Because it's hard to figure out. I still got a little creep factor because of his face and how he reacts.
That face alone is worth a 3, but if it's real, which it very well could be, I'm gonna go with a 6. Just because if it's real and he was actually taken over like that, and I've been in his shoes before, then yeah.
So here's the thing, right? It's Japan, just like Korea. They have CCTVs everywhere. And I'm sure that was a parking lot that he didn't want to pan all the way around perfectly to see if there was something casting a shadow on the bathroom window. I'm sure there was a CCTV pointed at there for them to completely break that down. And it's Japan. They're very smart over there. All of that could have been staged. So that's why I'm like, his reaction in the camera with his face gives it a 3. Everything else,
But you said he generally doesn't do stuff like that, right?
generally no. And it's both of them on camera usually. And the one's always keeping in check of the other. So that's why I'm like,
No, you never know. Could be. Alright. So you gave it a 3, I give it a 5.
another mysterious video. This time I was emailed about a very old video without a source that's been making the rounds on social media. In the video, a group of friends are camping in the middle of the forest. Late into the night, they start to hear strange sounds coming from the dark woods. Now, in what is probably a terrible decision, they decide to grab their flashlights and go to investigate. What happens next is downright chilling.
Crappy camera footage. It's gonna be Bigfoot.
looks like a cell phone.
Yeah, looks like flip phone footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Bigfoot. That's a Bigfoot.
Hey, look, it's the swamp hairy Sasquatch.
Why is it always crappy footage when it's Bigfoot?
The only one that's ever been great was that one from 79 or 80, where it crosses the river and they pause it doing this.
Somebody needs to take a 4K camera out of the woods.
Yeah.
Because it's always flip phone footage when they capture Sasquatch.
Well, now they're just constantly catching fake footprints and tufts of hair. No one seems to have a camera. Or the latest was on Survivor Man. It was nothing but audio recording, like an EVP in the middle of the woods, and it sounds like a baby crying while a mountain lion's picking up the baby. Oh, that's Sasquatch. That doesn't sound like a mountain lion all by himself. That's an unidentified gorilla in the middle of Montana.
It looks almost like Darth Sidious, you know?
Looks like someone's face just got boiled off with hot coffee, and they put a wig on.
Do it. Kill him,
and the face is like, oh, hot coffee.
Sasquatch.
As they search for the source of the creepy sounds, the group spots what appears to be some kind of creature with glowing eyes hiding in the tree line. Shocked online viewers have pointed out that even with the potato quality old video, you can still see that the strange unidentified creature actually appears to blink before it runs off into the woods, adding just a tiny bit more credibility to this very odd footage.
That's not a blink.
That
was the power source for the lighting where the eyes are supposed to be. Give out and reactivate. Moving.
That could, you know what? That could be a blink if it's a person who's dressed in costume and those are the eyelids of the person. Like if they wear like weird contacts or whatever, and they have like the whole, that's my stomach growling. You have the whole costume going on and like face paint and eyes and everything. That I could see. That's what that is. That's someone dressed up, makeup, contacts, wig.
It's too rigid for real movement, so.
It just, and before if you watched it, it looked like their back was turned to the tree, and then you turned like, oh shit, and then blinked, and then ran off. That's,
for me, that's super fake.
Yeah, that's, I give this a negative edit.
That's a mannequin on a roller.
Some guy with a pulley system like it. Heave!
Yeah, literally.
No, that's, yeah, I give, that's negative. That's not real.
And the zoom in happens perfectly when they're trying to see the faces. It's supposedly walking away.
Unless that's some random person living out in the woods and that's their life now, and they have the whole Darth Sidious look going on.
Darth Sidious with a wig, yeah.
That could be. Well, it looks like a cloth hood.
He lost the cowl. He lost the robe head. He's wearing a wig.
Oh my god.
But without a source, once again, we'll never know the full story on this old video.
Back.
So is it real or
turns.
just an elaborate hoax?
Then he's like, oh shit.
As always,
yeah,
you decide.
It never turned cohesively though.
Getting your foot in the door. Now, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that I've featured a ton of Saudi door-kicking ghost hunters. These include Adventure Allah, Yaza 1200, Abdullah Al-Anbari, and the guy we'll be focusing on in this video, Adventure Jassim. Now, if you're not familiar with the Saudi ghost hunters I've featured, then here's a quick
You seen
this video?
You seen this exact video?
Yeah, when you Google...
Don't ruin it.
No, when you Google jinn, this is like the first out of 5 videos that come up.
Now, I've seen some of these kind of videos where they go after jinn or whatever, but some of them, a lot of them seemed kind of fake to me. Like, I feel like they just did it for entertainment purposes. So
it's usually a conveniently short video.
Yeah.
The camera somehow zooms in or pans away right when you're supposed to be seeing the thing, and this audible noise usually happens.
Yeah, that, and I've seen ones where it looks like somebody literally in like a cloth sheet like run across the street, and they're like, oh, yeah. You know. So I don't know.
2 red tennis balls on broken glasses, and there's a black robe over them, and they shake their head over to the right.
Well, this is so. Chris has seen this. I have not, so it would be a first for me.
Tutorial. Number 1. They love hunting jinns.
إذا في جن يا جن يا جن آخر مرة.
Number 2. The jinns often seem to throw large objects at them.
لعن الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The first one could have been pushed over from behind.
Yeah.
The second one could have been a pulley system string around the corner.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, the camera's not panning at it, and it happens. Now, that can happen. Things do happen when you're not filming or looking at it. But it seems like he keeps going to the same furniture store for every piece of furniture falling over.
It's too convenient, right, as something's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And if anyone has a question, they're speaking Arabic.
Yes.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
And that one's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a cast iron oven type thing. Yeah, they use it to keep their house warm. They cook naan on it. It's a little heavier just to move.
Yeah, that... I don't know how I feel about that. If that was really freaking moved, that also takes a lot of energy from something.
A lot of energy for us too, is the thing.
Well, yeah.
You saw that layer of dust blow off when it moved.
I don't know how I feel about that.
And finally, number 3, and most important of all, Saudi ghost hunters love kicking down spooky doors.
كل هاي كل بسم الله لا إله إلا الله أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله.
See, that can be done by them with a string, holding it in towards themselves.
بسم الله لا إله إلا الله أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله.
But now, recently I was sent a video.
String, still. Planters from plants pull across the floor after he kicks the door in, after the door is shaking. The door could be shaking from someone just keeping the string taut and you're doing this.
Yeah, but they'd have to have some...
And there's fishing lure that can be almost invisible on camera. You have to be right close up on it to be able to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. But I don't know. I got a little goosebump from that door being, because you can hear the force behind it. Now the stuff inside, that did look like it.
Well, it's not a lot of force. It's just me going.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Video that reveals something new and absolutely terrifying.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه ما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤود حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. لا إله إلا الله.
That almost sounded like footsteps walking away.
A little bit. And what's crazy about that door is that's a blast door that they keep over there for boiler rooms on like the basement or first levels of buildings.
Well, what's weird to me is that, do you notice that every door does not have a doorknob?
Yeah.
It's always the same 3 holes.
And those doors are made out of sheet metal, so it's a little heavier than the wooden ones.
Yeah.
That's right. Apparently these spooky doors are fighting back now. So, just a heads up, if you're a door-kicking Saudi ghost hunter, or you just aspire to be one, you be careful out there.
لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله.
Yeah, there's a new door handle for it.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله.
If you're new to the channel,
My thing is, why does it always go after doors?
So what they're known for was this one video they caught in the top level of a building on a roof. This like dark creatures off to the right of the other access to go back down a stairwell. And that's where I learned about them. I barely had half of a goosebump, so I'm good on that. That's -9 for me on there.
So my thing is, like, they keep going after doors, but there's so much other stuff in the room they could have been throwing that would not take as much energy. But also, if that were to be fake, I feel like every time it said praying in Arabic, if you started praying that could be the sign, like, hey, go ahead and start hitting the door now.
Yeah, like they're saying a certain prayer word. That's their sign to do something.
That could be it. I don't. The only thing that got me was the cast iron thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because that's hard. That's a little.
It's a heavy door.
Yeah, and you
sheet metal.
The amount of rope and pulley system you would have to you would see it. Because it would have to be very thick rope.
It would have to be a counterweighted system.
Yeah, and it was very open room too, so they would have to sort of, you know, it's kind of like the rope they would have with Fat Bastard and Austin Powers, you know, pull.
Well, so the view of the camera was still singular, so they could have had the weighted system and ropes off to the left.
Yeah.
Because the camera view kind of stayed right here.
Could be too. I don't know. For the cast iron, I give that a 2 out of 10 because it confused me. But everything else, yeah, like I
see, that was the point that allowed me not to give it a -10. That's why I got a -9. No goosebumps.
So out of all the videos in that top 5, what did you find the most entertaining?
The second one. The second one had a little creep wow factor.
The little girl?
Mm-hmm.
When they were on the rail car?
Mm-hmm.
That was your best one?
Just hearing the voice. The voice is the only thing that gave me that one.
What if that's pre-recorded and fake?
That means wherever it was originally recorded, gotta be super scary.
I don't know.
There's better ones out there, so we gotta get some more.
Yeah, that was our first reaction video. We're trying something new for the channel. I know some people like reaction videos for stuff like that, so we figured why not to paranormal investigators, you know, try and react and see what would scare us. I mean, none of that scared me. The only thing creepy I found was that guy's face when he.
Yeah.
You know.
For me, that was like a half a point.
Yeah, that was probably the scariest thing.
Like, what I got more goosebumps out of was the
stomach. He was
the video for what they're saying is the elf from Harry Potter, and it's walking down the person's
Dobby?
Driveway. The Dobby video.
I have to rewatch
that one gave me goosebumps.
I watched that one a while back. I have to rewatch that one
because that was like a whole figure. The camera that's on the side of their house is capturing the back of it. It's walking away from a side door. All the way down to the end of the driveway. A good what, minute and a half, 2 minutes? That's why I was like, wow. The entire time I got goosebumps.
We'll have to watch that one next. But that was our first reaction video. If you want to see more, we'll do some more. Comment down below what you want us to react to. Send us some stuff. Again, I'll put the email up here, shadowsaboundyt@gmail. Send us some stuff. We'll watch it. We'll react to it. But we're going to let y'all go, and we'll see you on the next reaction video.
See ya.